TikTok check. Let me see. Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Oh, hold on, sorry. I hear myself. Sorry, I can hear myself. Let me just turn it up. So, okay. Oh, sorry. Instagram. Okay, yes, everything check. So, Facebook check, YouTube check, Instagram check, LinkedIn check, TikTok check. All right. Okay. Big welcome to every one of you. All right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let us start. Let us start. Thank you very much, guys. Whenever you join, let us know you're joining from. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. You consistently watch the news or clips from your home country and wonder what his future would be like? Are you one that feels that whatever happens back home is simply no longer your business? Do you sometimes judge are you sometimes judged first by how you look rather than what you can do? Do you feel you must work twice harder to just to prove your worth? If any of these questions resonate with you, then today's topic, um, our roots, our responsibility, is for you. So I encourage you guys to hang on and let us have a conversation, or let's hang on and hopefully we can have a conversation. We can learn a thing or two. All right. So this being said, a big thank you to all you guys from TikTok, over 46,000 of you, those of you on YouTube, supporters over 1,005, those on Instagram, I think it's over 14,000. I'm not sure. Facebook over 14,000, Instagram about 10,000. Thank you very much. We do this every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. So a big thank you to you and a big welcome. Please share this live stream. Long press on the screen. If you're on TikTok, you see the repost option, repost it. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, or you're on LinkedIn, even if you're watching this now, watching it later, please share it as well so more people can still be a part of it. All right. Don't forget to follow me if you've never followed me before. Please follow this page so you can you can get more content like this, and also turn on your notification button so you know when next I go live. I go live every Sunday, by the way, 7 p.m. UK time. So if you like what you're hearing, please tap on the screen. Keep tapping so that more people can, the algorithm can recommend this to more people. All right. So like I said, any comments, whether you're on Facebook, thank you very much. Whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on LinkedIn, thank you, Aliyah. Whether on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere, please put your comments in the comment section. If I miss anyone, please retype it, guys. I might have missed it. Don't forget my free ebook, Roadmap to Financial Freedom. You can send us a DM and you have it. The paid one, Idea to Shortlet Business. If that's something you're interested in, send us a DM. You can send that to you. If you want to have a 10 minutes free consultation call, where it could be personal guidance, it could be business related, it could be anything, send us a DM and we can make that happen. And with the QR code on the flyer that you saw, if you scan that, it should send you. We can send you a link to our community of like-minded people, so you can be a part of that. Right? Don't forget, for those that are hearing this for the first time, I'm writing a book. It's called Migration Mirage: Why Nations Lose Tomorrow and Lineage is Paid. If it's something of interest, soon the website will be out, so you can join the waiting list and get to know more about it. All right? On my channel, there's so many things. There are movies, there are short films, there's different clips. Please do well to check it out. It's Onyekwelu or Onyekwelu ILOGE on YouTube, and you can watch it all across all the platforms. You can watch it and inspire yourself or learn a thing or two. All right. Okay, I'm excited to this live stream is sponsored by The Hair You Love, by DC Homes, and by Love Family Podcast. So that is that. The reason why we do this every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time, is to stir up a dissatisfaction in your spirit, man. So awaken those possibilities, things that can be that you have not yet become. That's why we do that. And that is the whole idea of dealing, largely because the Bible makes us understand in Ecclesiastes 10 verse 7, I've seen servants walk on horses like princes, and I've seen princes. Sorry, yes, I've seen servants walk on horses, while princes walk on the ground like servants. That is the Bible encouraging you to stay at the right place at the right time. That is there's a place God desires for each and every one of us. I'm not a guru. I only teach the little things that Christ has done in my life. I'm here to provide personal guidance that I desperately needed, say 5 years ago, but I never got. 10 years ago, I never got. 50 years ago, I never got. This is me today sharing to you things I wish I knew all these years. So more like as I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking to myself because I'm not here to. I'm also talking to myself and I'm also learning. I would like to take a very brief moment to honor the life and memory of my wife's father, a beloved father. His name is Chief John Adiole. Is a beloved father, is a grandfather, is a family patriarch who sadly passed away on Wednesday. Though he's departed, our sights, the lives you've touched, the family you raised, and the memories you created remain with us. So he's just saying, rest in peace, Chief John Adiole. Your legacy lives on through those like my wife and others that you left behind. God bless you and thank you for all that you shared with us. Thank you and thank you and thank you. All right. Last week, our conversation was around your roots, our roots, our pride. This week or today, our conversation is similar. Our roots, our responsibility. So the first week we discussed about our roots, our identity. Second week we discussed about our roots, our pride. Today we're talking about our roots, our responsibility. And next week we have something else. Our roots, our responsibility. That's our conversation for today. And what is the situation of things as it is now? Before I go ahead and start pointing out the situation, this is not an attempt to paint nations in Africa negatively. No. Neither is it an exercise at giving African nations a bad press. I have no intention to do that. I'm an advocate for telling our own stories. African nations are not uniquely problems. We're not the only ones that have problems. Every nation and every continent has its own challenge. Britain has its own, America has, Europe, Asia, and different parts, they all have their challenges. I'm here to highlight this reality. This reality is only for context sake, because discussing our roots and our responsibility, we must briefly establish the conditions of some of the places we call our roots. Africa is also a continent of extraordinary resources, talents, expertise, culture, name it. Africa has a lot, It is simply to say the situation report. So I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, why is this guy saying all these things about our dear continent? I feel that way too. So as you listen, I hope that you learn a thing or two and understand why I draw some of it. I'm highlighting some of the things I'm pointing out, right? Okay. So millions of African diasporas or people have left the country, their countries, and they hear them say things like, oh, my parents are abroad, my brother and sisters are abroad, my children were born abroad, everybody important to me has left. Thank God we have all escaped. You hear that from different diasporas. Whatever happens there is no longer my problem. I've heard that from people. I don't care what happens there. Whatever they're saying there is none of my business. For some of you, the nation where you come from has become a holiday place where you go to for Christmas, or you attend weddings, funerals, or you can even throw parties like 30 December. Some people go there only for to Lagos or wherever, 30 December. Or maybe you visit families and go to enjoy the sunshine or take photography. For one reason or the other, they return to this, then you go back to wherever you came from. Maybe that's it for some people. For some people, but in this case, these places you have left still remain one of the places that are struggling big time. Sub-Saharan Africa carries a disproportionate share of the global extreme poverty. I'm not saying this, like I said, not to point the continent bad, but I'm driving at something. Millions still struggle for basic necessity. Employment opportunities remain inadequate for a rapid growing young population. The World Bank continues to identify jobs, poverty reduction, and strong public services as major regional challenges. These things are everywhere, but today is our focus on Africa, right? Meanwhile, millions of Africans are building prosperous careers and businesses abroad. Sorry, guys. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, guys. I forgot to. Let me see. Let me turn this off. Sorry for that breaking transmission. Really sorry. I forgot to mute my phone. All right. Meanwhile, millions of Africans are building prosperous careers and businesses abroad. So that is to say, we have all these challenges, still we have people building careers abroad, all right? Corruption and governance, I'm sure you guys know, our continent is filled with corruption. I don't need to analyze it too much, you know. Yet we have people abroad building systems and doing a lot of things for different countries abroad. The annoying part of the matter is that we still have some so-called Africans in diasporas who, for some reason, support bad governance. You hear them say things like, that governor is my brother, the president is from my tribe, that's my political party, I know the minister personally, you know. Tribe, some of them put tribe before the truth, some of them put party before principle, some of them put access before responsibility. And sometimes it could be because they are looking for political gain, government contract, business opportunity, access to power, land, influence, patronage. Some of them facilitate properties abroad. You know, some of these politicians you talk about, they use diasporas to make these things happen. So we're living under strong institutions abroad while they are helping powerful people circumvent accountability back home. Some of the diasporas in the UK and America are the problems of our country. You know, supporting government that is crippling and messing up our place, whereas you're in another man's land. So we still have poor infrastructure. I don't need to tell you that in several parts of Africa, unreliable electricity, and what have you. You know, we still have poor healthcare. We have there's under pressure education. You know, even for instance, we come to this country to. I heard that people used to come in to do ordinary college back in the day. But when you read, I don't have that book here. When you read books like There Was a Country by Chinua Achebe, you see how rich the education was back in the days. You know, I had one of my uncles. He used to. It was when he graduated from secondary school. He said right from graduating from secondary school, he got a job with IBM. You know, back in the days, we're talking maybe like in the, I don't know, only God knows, 60s or 70s, I can't remember. You know, he got a job with IBM straight from secondary school. You know. So today, I don't know whether even our graduates are employed, but I remember when the CEO of Money Point said that Nigerian graduates are unemployable, and the social media went agog. But you need to ask yourself questions and challenge it. So that's the situation we are. We're a very import-dependent continent. You know, when you come to Guangzhou, for instance, in China, and you're standing on the immigration queue and you turn your back, you're the last person, and I'm not exaggerating, and you turn your back, in 2 minutes, the line, the people behind you will be so much, and majority of them in Guangzhou, I'm not talking about Beijing or Shanghai, other places. In Guangzhou, majority Africans. And there's no way that none of them will spend nothing less than, minus flight ticket, $1,000, nothing less than in that country, buy one thing or the other. You know, I don't want to tell you, you guys know, we take our raw materials, export them, bring them back refined. When we can produce them back home. I once stayed in a quarry in Abuja and I saw a big truck of 20-foot container leaving the quarry. I said, why is this guy being weighed? When it's supposed to be, it's the other way around. Normal, they are weighing trucks that they are weighing trucks that are coming in, so that when they are going out, they minus the weight. But this guy was being weighed out, and the container was sealed. Then my agent that was helping me get the truck said to me, "Oh, okay, that truck has lithium. Lithium is what for the use for battery, and it's moving straight to China." I was like, "Wow, really?" Say yes. This contract was signed during Goodluck Jonathan's time. I was, wow, that's just one part of Nigeria. Only God knows what's happening in other parts of Nigeria. And there's also information from people like Mustafa, you know, the former Nigerian military, whatever, chiefs also, saying that what's happening in Sambisa Forest is mineral resources related. You know, check that, it's on YouTube. You can watch it for yourself. So we consume often and we don't produce as much as we should. I can go on, but it is not the conversation for today. I don't want to talk about insecurity. As you all know, that's one of the things that's ravaging different parts of Africa. It actually be the cost of living, inflation, food prices, whatever. These things are out there. But now, think about it this way. Look at this contrast. Struggling hospitals at home, African healthcare professionals building abroad. The weak infrastructures at home, African engineers building abroad. Technology gaps at home, whereas our brothers are the ones building for other people at home. Struggling schools, low industry capacity, capital shortages, weak institutions, whereas our brothers and our sisters are the ones doing it for some other people abroad. Then we sometimes hear them say things like, it's no longer my problem. I don't care whatever happens there. Everybody in my family has left that place. I send money home. That should be enough for them. Africa cannot change. Or they say Nigeria cannot change. Some people say Nigeria is cost, or say whatever is cost. Some people now tell you, oh, my children are British. I don't care. My children are American. I don't care. I would never go back to that country. I've heard that a lot. Some people say they only go when they retire. I only visit. Everybody says all manner of things. But let us stop here and think about this thing. I'm not here to present it realities to condemn African nations. I never said that. Neither have I presented it to condemn migration. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not presenting to suggest that every African person must return to every person. If you can return, good and fine. I'm only here saying that the diaspora is doing, we're not doing enough as we should do. And let's be honest with you. Billions send remittances. Many building businesses, many support relatives, yes. Many fund schools, charities, and what have you, and all that. I've simply just described what the situation is. All I'm trying to say is that we have roots. No matter what you do, some people, if you leave them, they want to, if they can remove this skin color so they can have nothing to do where they come from, they do it. But I'm simply reminding you that as long as you have this color of your skin, you cannot take away your roots. It's not possible. Those roots are really facing challenges. Your roots are facing challenges. Millions of sons and daughters of those roots now live in places where they have acquired knowledge, capital, network exposure, and opportunities. And some remain deeply engaged. Some do very little. Some have completely disconnected. Some defend or benefit from systems contributing to the problems. So the question is no longer simple. The question is, where are our roots? The question is no longer simple. The question that should take us into today's conversation is, what do we do? What do we owe our roots? All I've been trying to say since, all I've been trying to point out to you, all I've been trying to draw to you is, what do we owe our roots, where we come from? That's all. And I enumerated for you all the challenges that our roots are facing. Peradventure, you're watching me and you've forgotten what our roots face. I want to believe that the same thing happens to countries in the Caribbean. I want to believe so. Because I remember when Haiti had the hurricane or so, similar stuff. There was a lot of support, and you can see a lot of clear poverty in that part of the world. What do we owe our roots is basically a question. Do our roots create responsibility? Does living a place end our obligation to it? Where does personal responsibility begin? And where does it end? And what does responsibility connect to our roots actually look like? This is where our conversation begins today. That's what it is. So I always love to define without assuming that everyone has an understanding of everything I'm saying, just for avoidance of doubt. So just like I did last week, our roots, mainly the word root means origin and source. It means family, culture, cultural, ethnic, or historical origin. The word roots, I love what it says here. It says that it's a part of a plant that anchors it to the ground and connects it to where it grows. It anchors it to the ground and connects it to where it grows. That's one lovely explanation. So your roots are not abstract. There's an idea. It's real. They are real people, place, heritage from which you belong. So your roots, to make you better understand it, your parents and your grandparents, that's your roots. Your family and your lineage, your ancestry, your homeland, your language, your culture, your history, your inherited values, those are your roots. If you don't know, just a simple mind. So you could take a quick test. You say, where did my family come from? Where do my grandparents come from? These are different questions to ask. It will better help you understand what your roots are. Another definition is our responsibility. What is that? It's a duty, obligation, or role we recognize as ours. Something we should care about, contribute to, protect, or be accountable for. That's our responsibility. In other words, our responsibility is what is ours to care about and act upon. You don't remember anything, remember this one. what is ours. It is our responsibility to care about it and to act upon it. Don't forget that. So I'm going to take us further by asking, in other words, our roots and responsibility, in one word, is recognizing that our connection to our family, our community, our culture, our ancestry home may carry responsibilities that do not automatically disappear because we have relocated. So this is to say, our roots, our responsibilities, where you come from should matter to what you do. So irrespective of wherever you are, you have a responsibility to where you come from. Don't forget that. You might argue or say no, it's entirely up to you. But I'm only saying this to people that this thing, hoping that some people already acting in this line, hoping that more can act. Our roots tell us where we come from. Our responsibility asks what we will do about what we have inherited. Very spot on. So for having said this, I'd like to continue by saying, who is an irresponsible diasporan or African or whatever, or someone that's disconnected? When I say I've left, it's no longer my problem. There are people like that. They enjoy the root culturally, but they eat the food and everything, but they feel no concern of what happens there. There's some people like that. Another set of people is the comfortable spectator. They see the struggles back home. They have knowledge, they have network, they have resources that could help, but choose permanent indifference. At least my family is okay. They don't care about what that happens there. Then there are some people that they are the enablers. I talked about them. They condemn bad governance until there is a contract, appointment, or favor to access power. Then they start to defend or facilitate a very system that is hurting people. There are people like that are supporting a government that is putting people in abject poverty, a government that is crippling democracy. You'll be supporting them. You are in diaspora. That's the another part of it. You are in a country where things work, where there's electricity, where things are working, but you are supporting another government or a government that is pulling things down. You need to check yourself and ask yourself the true question. One thing I always say to people, I pray that the bad governors they are supporting, I pray that doesn't happen to anyone like you. Hello, random sound. Sorry, we'll talk later. I'll send a check message. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't really understand your question. We'll send it again. All right. Another set of people is the generation breakers. They make little efforts to connect their children to their language, history, family, community, or homeland, and they allow generations to identify to gradually disappear. So irresponsibility is not simply living abroad. It is deciding that because you left your roots, what becomes of them no longer concerns you. That is not proper. That's not should be how it should be. So why do some diasporans feel little or no responsibility towards their roots? Why? Because they feel that they've escaped. Some of them feel I've escaped. Migration, they feel that because they've escaped, the homeland problems gradually become another person's problem. It's no longer the problem. They don't care. So whatever happens there, should happen there. Sorry. I did not stop coming. I'm always in this church. Joy, yeah, thank you, Joy. I'm always in this church. Third service. Check me out there. See me. Thank you very much. Random spam. But send me a DM. I need to know your name. Or you can send it here if you want. I always come. Third service. All right. They feel that, we have escaped. So whatever happens, wherever I come from, none of my business. Another thing is distance gradually weakens attachment. Some people, because physical migration can eventually become psychological migration. When you leave a place, because they're trying to survive, they're trying to make a living, they're trying to work on their visas or what have you. Sometimes they spend 10 years, 15 years, before you know it, they gradually, and that wherever they come from begins to look to them like, I mean, it's not my forget about it, or whatever happens, it happens. That's some of the reasons. Third thing, it could be disappointment can turn into resignation. Yes, truth be told, some people have gone through a lot of struggle and a lot of things back home, insecurity and different stuff. Thank you, Joy. They've gone through a lot of stuff, corruptions and all that. So yes, when people stop believing change is possible, they often stop believing their contribution matters. That's the truth. When they've gone through different things, they say, we have tried. Nothing will ever change. What difference can one person make? You know, that's what they say. But I always remember that whenever someone asks that question, what difference can one person make? I remember the words of Thabo Mbeki when he gave the foreword for Nelson Mandela's book, Long Walk to Freedom. He said that whenever people say that thing, he always makes reference to Nelson Mandela. What one man can do, stayed in prison for decades just to prove a point and for the emancipation of his people. One person can make a whole lot of difference. I can tell you, we had one Rosa Parks, we had one Dora Kunyili, we have one fellow Anikulapo Kuti. I can go on and on. One person, you know, and there are so many people. Don't wait for people. If you look on my stream, there's one of my topics says, don't wait for other people. Don't wait for other people. Do the needful, do the things that you need to do. All right? Another thing could be personal success can replace collective concern. Some people, because they feel that they've made some money, whatever it is, like they are doing okay. You know, I really don't care. My family is okay, becomes enough. Even when the place that produced them is not. They just don't care. Once they're okay, they don't really care. So I hope that you listen to me. I'm not in that any of those categories. And if you are, it's important that we have a rethink. All right? So these are the questions I ask people. What happens if we do nothing? What happens if you do nothing for where you come from? What happens if I do nothing for where I come from? You know, abroad is not a permanent guarantee. I always say to people, and I say to people, I written in my book, and I'm saying to you today, economies change. There's no safe haven. No, today, no safe haven is guaranteed. In America today, Donald Trump is using ICE to chase people away. People don't have documents. You know, South Africa has shown to us that today you can have a country, tomorrow you might have nothing. You know, and it happens in different other countries. Wars can happen. Look at Dubai. How many people will believe that a country like that will be struck by a missile from Iran? Imagine you live in Iran. Imagine that you live in Saudi Arabia. Imagine that you live in Ukraine. Whoever believed that this war will still be going on, there's no safe haven anywhere. You need to think about it. Then next thing is that you may lose your roots. You know, you begin to lose your language. It will affect your children, your family and community. Connection weakens. Your children will lose knowledge of whoever their grandparents, whatever, and it could go to your grandchildren. What one generation neglects, another may completely lose. The choice is yours. Another thing to bear in mind, if you do nothing, is that what we abandon, others will occupy it. I always say this to people. African problems have not stopped, and others see it as opportunity. Guys, if you doubt what I'm saying, get on a plane to Lagos, get on a plane to Abuja. When you see people that are not Africans there, ask yourself, what are they coming to do in a place where there's insecurity, where there's whatever, and ask them, what are they coming to do? Within Africa and different parts of Africa, let me speak for Nigeria first, because I know that it's the same, because I watch documentaries and I watch the news. You see Chinese people there, you see Lebanese, you see Turkish people, you see India. My primary school teacher was an Indian person. My primary school, this long time ago, Indian. You know, in Nigeria, in Kaduna, we have Chinese restaurant a long time ago. What I'm talking about now, Chinese restaurant. Lebanese people have been in charge of different things. There's an ice cream parlor in Wuse too. It's owned by a Lebanese guy, and I can tell there's different businesses Chinese Lebanese people own and Chinese people own. Chinese people are in charge of construction, different things in different parts of Africa. What you abandon, another person is seen as opportunity. Tomorrow you could become a second citizen in the economy of your own homeland. It's very possible. And I hope that you not come and be crying xenophobia or start saying, oh, no, leave my country. Opportunity does not wait for its original owner. It will not wait. Somebody will occupy it. People are taking it. So while you are running to another country, it's okay, it's understandable. You need to bear in mind that those problems you're running away from and you're not trying to solve or you're not contributing to, some people are seeing this as an opportunity and don't cry wolf when you come and they're taking over the economy and you become second feeder. Bear it in mind. All right? Next thing is that if you do nothing, you may discover too late that your roots were an advantage. See, your culture is your advantage. You understand your people better. You may have language, family, and community networks while competing as one among millions abroad. Your greatest comparative advantage may actually be connected to where you come from. I'm going to talk more about this in some few points, maybe to make more sense to some people. Do not abandon as worthless what outsiders are traveling thousands of miles to come and discover as value. If you don't hear anything, hear this one. I repeat it again. Do not abandon as worthless what others are traveling thousands of miles to discover as valuable. You might say to your airport, what are you doing here? Please don't use me as an example. Don't look that I'm here. And by the grace of God, I'm a property developer and I have business in Nigeria and I have plans both here and in the UK. And I have concrete plans to move back. I've discussed this in other streams, but for sake of time, I'm not going to dwell much into it. So don't use me. I'm global. I can be in China tomorrow. I can be in different country, like next tomorrow. I stream from different parts of the world. So I'm saying this to people that feel like, oh, whatever happens, that's a whatever country. I don't care. No. I'm talking to people like that. So and I'm also talking to myself as well. All right. So we talked about it. What if you do nothing? We've talked about it and what the challenges are. And I pray that you do something. All right. I pray that you do something because there's a lot to do. All right. Next thing I want to talk as we bring this to a close is, I talked about it. Your roots may be an advantage you recognize too late. Thank you very much, Vembe. Recognize too late. I always say this to people. Lemfi, if you don't know, do a Google. Lemfi is a child of an immigrant. If you send money with Lemfi, he's a child of an immigrant. Because he's connected to his roots, that's why he's able to find out that problem. InterSwitch was an ex-student that used to live in Scotland. Now he's one enabling InterSwitch. InterSwitch, the guys that own Money Points are ex-InterSwitch workers. So today, if you hear of Money Points in Nigeria, ex-InterSwitch. So what if the guy did not leave Scotland and go and fix things? Maybe there will not be any Money Point today. Only God knows. Flutterwave, think about it. These are people solving Nigerian and African problems. And they are the same thing. I can go on and on. African nations or African citizens or African diaspora need to solve problems for African countries. It's very important. And I say this because my wife is in the hair industry. I'm going to use this example. I hope that it helps you. There's a company called Rebecca Hair. They are #1 when it comes to wigs manufacturing in the world. And China is classed as one of the #1 countries when it comes to wig manufacturing. These companies make products like your wife or your children use. If you're in the UK, I think it's called Slick or New. I think it's New Look or Slick. I can't remember. Slick. They're the ones that make it, and they're also in Nigeria. They're in South Africa. They're in different African countries. Not that people are importing. They are there presently. If you don't solve your problems, other people will take advantage of it. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Then, so many women like you, your wives, your children, or whatever, or you're a lady here. If you use the company called Dark and Lovely, it's made by a French company. Do your research. L'Oreal, made by a company called L'Oreal, and it's owned by French people. They have discovered a problem with African kind of hair, and they've been making this for decades. Dark and Lovely. Africans need to solve African problems. If you say, I don't care, whatever, it is your advantage. Your roots are your advantage. You understand things better. Like the guy that did reggae sauce, he understands it. It's now become his advantage. I can go on and on. I remember the story of my dad. He said that he was traveling to some part of Nigeria. I think it's about the mid part of Nigeria. We live in northern Nigeria at the time. We still live there. We still have businesses there. And a guy from a particular city called Kogi State said to him, why are you traveling that far just to go and get a contract and what have you? My dad said to him, what are you calling I'm traveling that far? What of Julius Berger? Or what of all the Italian companies that left their country? You know how many miles to come to Nigeria to take a contract? How many kilometers is it from me to go to that place to go and get a contract? I remember that story that my dad told me while I was having this making my notes for today. Some of us we have left our place, yes, for one reason or the other. We don't care about it, but this should be a wake-up call. Why do we have foreigners in our country still taking advantage of what you call problems? Why? Maybe you understand it more, and I hope that you. I'm sure a lot of you know who Julius Berger is. This company have been there. Maybe before I was born, they're still there. Why have they not left? Why have they not left? The question is yours to answer. Next, we're going to talk more. Don't abandon as worthless. I said that before. What someone else is traveling thousands of miles to discover as valuable. Don't abandon it. So, I want you to think about this and ask yourself these questions. If Nigeria or African nations was completely hopeless, how did Nigeria produce the richest black person in the world? When I say richest black person in the world, I don't mean just in Nigeria or in Africa or West Africa or something. No, in the entire world, the richest black person in the entire world. That means he's richer than every black person in America, every black person in Europe, every black person in Asia, anywhere combined, richer than all of them. He's the richest person, richer than Oprah. Name them. That person's name is Aliko Dangote. If, according to Forbes, he has over $28.5 billion in Nigeria, and he's largely built virtually everything in Nigeria, a country that you say doesn't happen. Some people will argue, oh, whatever you want, it's your business what you want to argue, because I know people that have the kind of opportunity he has, but have misused them. There's something about him. If you follow him, you understand him better. So he's a Pan-Africanist. If you don't know that today. He has built businesses surrounded around things that Nigerians and Africans need: cement, food, production, fertilizer, manufacturing, now petroleum. His petrol or whatever it is was Europe was saying, oh, it's rubbish, it's this, is that. But when they blocked the Straits of Hormuz or so by Iran, all of a sudden, all the European airlines also now are buying from him. Ethiopian airline is on the side of African country, and other people are buying from him now, solving Africans' problems. That is one man. There are so many people that have the kind of opportunity they have that will not do the thing he's doing. So you need to give the man his flowers and respect him. Today, that man has signed a contract with CNN, and the whole idea is that they're going to partner for years. And what are they trying to do? Thank you very much, Ewan. What are they trying to do? They are trying to showcase African businesses to the world. And the first episode is to premiere on August 29th, to showcase African companies succeeding in manufacturing, technology, and hospitality and entertainment. If that man why is he spending his money to that kind of thing? He should have just focused on himself. But this guy is out to see and to prove a point that Africa has something to offer. You need to think about it. Ask yourself that question. The purpose is to show the world that Africa is beyond poverty. Because when people think of Africa, a lot of things they think about is hungry people that are children carrying plates, asking for war, diseases, flies going around the child, and all those things. They don't think about that this country has a lot of vast opportunities, young people, enterprising people. They don't know that venture capitalists are coming into different parts of Africa, especially Nigeria, to come and invest. Stripe is a payment gateway. They came to Nigeria and bought a company called Paystack. If you guys don't know, if Nigeria has nothing to offer, why are they coming? I can go on and on, but it's not a tech conversation today. So the lesson for us as diasporans or people in Nigeria or Africa or wherever you are, that the bad roads you see, the unreliable electricity, imports, millions of undeserved people or whatever it is that you see, those problems you see, they are business opportunities for you, African, that is in the diaspora, or you watching me today. Opportunities for you. So they are either infrastructure businesses, energy businesses, manufacturing businesses, potential customers, that the things that those problems. I remember when we were writing a business plan. When I was in university, my international business and enterprise was my business, and they said we should do a business plan. And I wrote in my business plan. They said choose a topic. My topic was I don't forget it. What's my topic again? Public toilet, where the market. Everybody laugh, including Nigerians. Quack, 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 quack. Oh, what kind of business is that? This one, that one. Me, myself, I knew. I studied, my university was in Enugu. I knew what the problems were. I knew what I was facing. Whenever you're in the market and you feel like you need to use the toilet, it just disorganizes everything you're doing. And the toilets in the markets are horrible. So I said to myself, what can we do? Because when I came to the UK, I saw a porter cabin and it was amazing. I was like, wow, this thing can be done home. That's the kind of mind I have. It's all about perspective, guys. It's all about perspective. So those challenges you see back home, and you have come to a land with so many opportunities and so many people that this place has gone for, is important for you to see it as opportunities for you to be a blessing to our people. And it's like I said to a guy today, having a conversation in church. He was saying that he wants to do research. He was going to do a research. I said to him, it's important that you do a research concerning things that relate to our continent. They're like, why do I need to do that? All that, all that. I said to him, because the medicines are not made for us. They're not made for us. Why don't we still have a cure to acute leukemia? Why don't we have a cure to sickle cell? I don't think I've seen anyone with a different color scheme that is facing sickle cell. Sickle cell is only for Africans. Why don't we have that? When you see children in this part of the world, they have my son had it, eczema, and a lot of children face that. This part of the world, and can't be bothered for that. We need to solve our problems. It's very important. So, and Dangote is one person that is his success should point you to think, if he can be in a country with so many problems and is making it, it should point you to think, what are we missing here? What are we missing? What am I and what are you missing that we're not investing? All we can say is watching social media. I hope that we'll learn from him. All right. So I want to say this as I wrap this up, and I'm sorry to bring this up if you guys find it sensitive, but I just think I want to touch it. Our roots can provide another place to stand. Our roots can provide another place to stand. I don't know how many of you that are following the news. My head of a professor, now they say it's ex-professor, that's what they call him, ex-professor of Cambridge, by name Jason Atakwe Arde, or whatever it is, Arde. He's British, he's born in London to Ghanaian parents, a man whose story is crossed 2 continents. I don't know how many of you that know about him. The guy is dead for plagiarism or whatever it is. But this is what I want to bring to us. His death reminds us that achievement does not automatically give a person security, belonging, or resilience in a foreign world. This is me speaking to both diasporans and offsprings of diasporans, or your children. For diasporans and their offsprings, actively knowing and engaging with your roots can give you another community, another source of belonging, another place to contribute, another dimension of identity. Don't forget these things. Imagine the broader principle. If one's environment rejects me, my entire identity does not have to collapse with it. I belong to a larger than one institution, one job, one country. This guy, I'm so sorry. It's painful that it happened the way it happened and whatever. I don't know why. I don't know what he's thinking about, what he's going through. But if he was rejected by this so-called country, Ghana would have rolled a red carpet for him. 100%. You see that? I don't know. I don't want to go down to the parents' side. I don't know why he did what he did. But it gives me concern. Because this boy would have been open. No country in Africa would not have opened their arms to say, yes, we know what you did is wrong. Come on, this is our brother. Because this guy's contributed or done whatever he needs to do. This is actually not about him, but it hurts me. Train your children to appreciate their roots. Train your children to know the responsibilities of their roots. Train your children to identify with their roots. Train your children to be proud of their roots. It will help. It's a word, it's enough for the wise. All right? So what should we do? You might ask that question, what must I do? Identify one problem. Don't try to fix everything. Stay where your capacity meets a real need. It's very important. It could be education, it could be healthcare, employment. Do something. In a community might lack computers. Do something. Mobilize your friends to do something. It could be me. I'm always focused on my community, which is Isawa. That's why I start from. That's why I focus on. So do something. Next thing is to turn your remittance into development. A lot of people send money for school fees, send money for hospital bills, send money to build a home that they end up not living, that doesn't bring one income for them. Whatever, they do all those things. Don't send only money to consume or just for consuming. No. Move from maintaining people to empowering people. Start building things. What stops you in your community? How much can a Gary processing plant be? It's not up to $6,000. Some of you spend that on a designer's bag. 2 Louis Vuitton bags can build a production plant for Gary in your community. And it will alleviate to people. When you come back, they will not be peasants. They will not be begging you. You understand me? How many people have you given loans? I don't want to make this about me, but 100,000 naira can change a woman's life in the village. You'll be surprised how prudent these people would make good use of this money. I can go on and on. Look on my page, you can find all those things. Use what you have gained abroad to bless your people. Simple. Knowledge transfer, not just cash. You can. You have, a lot of you have networks. A lot of you have. I know some doctors that bring communities to their place. Doctors without borders. Bring people to their place. Say, come, let us go and treat my people. Come, my people need. I know a guy that was telling me they want to bring a company back home. Use your network. You have been exposed to so many things. Do something. Bring those things back. Bless your people. There's a reason why you came from where you came from. You cannot take it away from you. Even if you like stay 1 million years abroad, you can't take it away. And you always say to people, you'll always be second class wherever you are, as long as you're an immigrant. No matter what you do, except you don't know your history. Go and look at the history of slavery. Then look at the history of colonialism. Then you understand that you only be a fool. My dad always say one thing on my tribe. He always say, someone that does not know when rain start beating him will not know when the rain stops. Only a fool will not understand, and will not be able to. My people say you should use your tongue to count your teeth. Only a fool. And my people always say that only a fool will be in a stream, betting, and soap will be in eyes, and cry, oh, my eyes, my eyes, my eyes. Help me. Whereas he's in a stream, should watch his face. It's only wise that you think. Look around you. Look at the news. See what's happening. And you come from somewhere and you feel, oh, hell to that, I don't care about that country. Wisdom. No matter how you sound foreign or how you behave or how you want to be posh or whatever, you will never be accepted. I always say this to people. You will never be accepted. Go and look at the riots in Birmingham. Go and look at the riots. I can go on and on. Look at riots that happened in Ireland. Ireland. I think 1 week or 2 weeks ago. All migration and immigration related. I think 2 years ago, all the attacks on immigrant camps and all those things. Well, I don't want to go deep into it, but I hope that you guys are wise and understanding. Take your children with you. A lot of people, they travel alone, don't take their children because it's expensive. It's intentional. Don't merely leave property for your children. Leave them a connection to people. Your children will not value a place where they don't have any connection. No uncles, no aunties. They don't even know that they are related to people. Nothing. They will not know that place is their own. So teach them your language, visit your community, tell them family history, and let the children participate in giving and building. Everything I tell you guys, I try my best to use it. I do with my children. My daughter, she spent her 10 years birthday doing a legacy project in my village. And my son, I've told him, there's a toy project we do every year. I think I want you to make it your project. I said, do it with your sister. He said, no, I want to do it alone. We do that every year, giving out toys to my community where I come from. What are you doing? And if you don't teach your children, my children, they use their hand to say, I think this toy, I don't want it anymore. Let's keep it for our children. You understand? They just go and keep it on our shed or prepare and waiting for it. What are you teaching your children? The choice is yours. So my challenge is for you is that before the year ends, identify one person, identify one problem, identify one project connected to your roots. Do something measurable about it. You don't have to change the entire nation or the entire Africa. No, start by changing something within you. Ask yourself, if people like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, with all the level she has climbed in World Bank, and now she's in, I think still in World Bank, World Trade Center. So this woman still dressed the way she dressed, still every small thing. When she came to Nigeria last, she went to her village, go, and went to go and greet her people. She still identified with them. What of me and you? What of me and you? Come on, I hope we're hearing something. All right. I want us to wrap up with this. Are you enjoying systems someone else sacrificed to build? That country where you are, somebody built it. Who is building what your own grandchildren or the next generation may someday need back home? If you don't do anything, the question is yours. What is your greatest contribution? What if your greatest contribution is not money? Sometimes it could be knowledge, it could be network, it could be credibility, it could be access to something that's worth more than a donation. Some people, instead of giving 1,000, could you connect an African entrepreneur or a Nigerian entrepreneur or a Ghanaian entrepreneur to a buyer, to an investor, to a university or to an international market? Some of you just have the access. You are working in a place and you're looking for raw material. You know, I heard that Kafanchan has one of the best gingers in the world. You can connect people to it. Maybe your country, you're the one in charge of procurement, or your colleague in charge of procurement, they're looking for where to do. You could be the one to link them up. What door can I open that somebody back home can potentially need? Do something, you know? So next question is, what if the problem you are complaining about is your assignment? What problem connects to your roots? Am I usually equipped to solve? If you complain about a lot of things, maybe that is why God is calling your attention to. Look into it. So if every diaspora behaved like you, what would happen? If everybody does not care about our continent, what will happen? I always say it. People like Kwame Nkrumah, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, I can go on and on. These guys were all diasporans. If you look at China, a great part of China was built by diasporans. The same thing with Jewish people. You know, diasporans have a lot to do about our continent. Perhaps you don't need to solve everything. You simply need to stop walking past that one thing that you have been equipped to change. And I say this last word. If you're a diaspora and you're supporting bad government in Nigeria or any part of the world, I pray that you and your family encounter whatever it is that you wish upon Nigerians. So because of the contract or because of the favors, or whatever you plan to get, you don't care for people to die in penury. Every politician that I have access to that knows me, I don't want to mention their names, so they know me. Whenever I have contact to see them, we have healthy conversation and arguments. They know that one, and I'm not looking to collect anything from them. The diaspora is the answer to the issues of Africa. I say it because they are the ones that have the confidence to look into the eyes of the politician and say to hell with whatever money you want to give me, solve that problem. To hell with it. That's what they'll say. And solve that problem. So you and I in the diaspora are the ones that have the power to do it. Because some of the people back home, they are faced with so many challenges. It could be insecurity, whatever it is, that puts them under pressure not to make informed decisions. But you are not under that kind of pressure. You have seen it all. You are in this country, you see them do protests. I remember people protesting on a tarmac of an airplane just to prove something. I forgot what the protest was about. But we are here, we just come, we relax and be supporting bad government. Whereas because you and your family are abroad, I pray that whatever thing that you are wishing Nigeria happens to you, wishing different part of Africa happen to you, maybe then your eyes will clear. I remember one guy that was supporting, I think it was Buhari's government back in the day, saying all manner of things. I'm sorry to say, I think his family was kidnapped in the train, whatever issue whatsoever. And I stopped hearing him talk on Facebook anymore. That's life. I stopped hearing him talk on Facebook and all those things. So don't wait till your family encounters a problem. Stop supporting evil. Stop supporting bad government. So this means saying to everyone, thank you very much for always following this channel, always supporting this channel. Please always share everything. I hope that I've learned a thing or two. Always share whatever you hear. Please, this live stream is sponsored by The Hair You Love, sponsored by This Is Tenor, sponsored by Love Family Podcast. If you're looking for premium wigs, send us a DM, and This Is Homes, The Hair You Love will reach out to you. If you're looking to invest in a property in Nigeria or in the UK, send us a DM. Looking for shortlets in Nigeria, UK, send us a DM. Love Family Podcast, we have podcasts for families. Check us out, all right? This is me saying, so far you've been listening to today's topic is our roots, our responsibility. I hope that you learned a thing or two. A big thank you to my wife, to my PA, to my social media manager, Dami, to my PA, Venus, and to my wife, who is going through a serious situation right now. I'm just praying for God to console her and her siblings and console each and every one of us. At such a time like this. So God bless her, God bless my family, God strengthen each and every one of them at a point, and us and me as well at a point like this. All right? Because sometimes I'll be streaming my father-in-law is sitting down there watching me, and I will have conversations about the conversation. So it's quite unfortunate and not easy to understand. Like I can just see there's a particular chair he sits whenever he comes to my house. So God grant everyone the fortitude to bear such loss. All right. To all my mentors, to my colleagues, everyone in church business, thank you very much. Please like and share this live stream so more people can be a part of it. All right. Let me know what your biggest takeaways are. Send in the comment section. Even if you're watching this later, more people watch this live stream later than when they watch it live. Please still put your comments in the comment section. It will be a blessing to more people. You never know it's going to be a person. So next Sunday, we're going to be talking about our roots, our future. Our roots, our future. Please join 7 p.m. UK time. Thank you very much, Chinua, for that trouble. Thank you very much, Ubeka, for your thoughts. Train our children to identify. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bembe. Thank you very much to as many of you that are BC on TikTok, Man KO, and as many of you that are on TikTok. Thank you very much. Caleb 001, who else again? I don't know. Boyeba, Teriadu, Joy, Random Spam, Samuel, Hilton, Kings, as many of you guys, please. Thank you very much. A big thank you for your comments and your thoughts. Please don't forget my free ebook, my paid ebook. If you want to talk for 10 minutes, free, send me a DM. We can work that out. All right. Don't forget to take your life in your hands and control your time, and don't die average. Don't die average, please. All right. So this is me saying a big thank you as a sign out. It says you hit the right points. So have a so thank you very much, Bembe. God bless you. God bless you. Bless you. Thank you very much. All right. As we bring this to a close, this is just me saying recapping. Our roots are more than where we came from. They are more than where we came from. They connect us to a people, a history, heritage, and homeland whose future should still matter to us, irrespective of where you are. Different parts of Nigeria, different parts of Ghana. Stay connected to your roots. Migration does not automatically end responsibility. Changing your address or passport does not erase the people and places that contribute to your story. Very much. I think it was a few days ago, I saw Rihanna post a picture. Thank you very much, Brenda. Post a picture of herself in the street where she grew up from. I think it was Barbados or so. Yeah. And they have changed the name of the street to her name. She took her children to the street where she came from. And I'm sure she'll be contributing back home and blessing them. I'm very sure, these kind of people, for her to have taken her children back. So don't, that you have a different passport, also stop you from contributing to a place that is part of your story, or your children's story. Like I was talking to a guy today, that you disconnect your children from your roots, it affects their identity. I talked about it in the first week. And they have what's called a mistaken identity. They look like a different continent, but they think and relate like a different continent. It will affect them. But when you connect them to their roots, they don't be confused. When this place reject them, they have a place that will accept them. So your choice, how you train your children, how you do your thing, your business, all man for himself, right? So next thing is responsibility does not require you to fix everything. I've always said to people, identify what is within your capacity, your knowledge, your money, your network, your influence, or your experience, and start somewhere. Start somewhere, no matter how little. Start somewhere. Then the next thing is what we do today will shape what remains tomorrow. Our engagement or indifference will help determine what future generations inherit from their roots. Sorry, I take that point again. Our engagement, our indifference will help determine what future generations inherit from the roots we received. So whether you do something or don't do something will determine what the future generation benefit from. Choice is yours. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you learned one thing or two. I myself, I learn whenever I talk to you guys. All right. So the whole reason why I do this is to stir up a dissatisfaction within each and every one of us, and it's to awaken the possibilities that can be. There are a lot of things that we can be, we are not yet become. It's awakening those things. All right. So largely because I love this scripture, I'll never stop quoting it. It says, "I have seen servants walk on horses, while princes walk on the ground like servants." This is taken from Ecclesiastes 10, verse 7. And this is me saying to you guys, ensure that you're at the right place at the right point in your life. It will help you along the way. Remember, the wise always invest. Invest in whatever will make you work on your responsibility towards your homeland. And if you keep doing it, you can never go wrong. This has been saying to you guys, Udo, peace, and I'm out. God bless you. Bye-bye. See you next Sunday. Bye-bye.